Hello everyone, I am your educator Mamta, and in this UPSC Plus series on geography, we are starting with Himalayan drainage system. You can subscribe to Arpita Sharma classes and press a bell icon for instant notification from this YouTube channel. And a telegram of this class lecture will be provided in our telegram channel, that is Simplifying UPSC with Ease. So first let us start with drainage system. So what is drainage? So when river flows, it follows certain or the well-defined channel. So this channel will be called as drainage. So when different drainage pattern come together and forms a network, so that will be called as drainage system. Then what is river basin? So river basin is an area which will be drained by the river and its tributaries. When river flows from right hand side, it will be joined by right bank tributaries. From left hand side, it will be joined by left bank tributaries. So the total catchment area this river will be covering, it is called as river basin. So now let us learn the types of drainage patterns. So when it comes to types of drainage patterns, there are two. So one is concordant and discordant. So what is concordant? So concordant means a drainage pattern which will be guided by topography or geological structure. For example, when there is a mountain and the river which will be flowing, so this river will be guided according to the mountain and it passes according to the mountain passes that exist. But in discordant, what happens? Even though the geological structure or the topography that exists, that river follow the same path, means it will cut down this river, make a gorge out of it, and it flows in the same direction. So this is the difference between concordant and discordant. Based on this, a drainage pattern will be divided. So first is dendritic. So what is dendritic? So in dendritic, what happens? A river will be joined by its tributaries in different patterns. So there will no different pattern existing. So somewhat it looks like this. Okay, it will be a main river. So the tributaries coming and joining in all the direction without any specific pattern. So in rectangular, what happens? A main river will be joined by its tributary in right angle. Sorry, in rectangular. Okay, in rectangular, tributaries will be joining and there will be no secondary tributaries in rectangular pattern. So next is Thirils. So in Thirils, what happens? A main river will be there and the tributaries will be there and the secondary tributaries will be joining in the right angle. So in right angle, the secondary tributaries will be joining the tributaries. So next is radical. So in radical, what happens? There will be a main river. Okay, from this main river, all the tributaries will be going out. So this is a radical. And next is centripetal. So in centripetal, what happens? So many rivers from different direction coming and joining the main river towards the center. Okay, so this is centripetal. So in discordant, what happens? As I said, it will cut down the geological structure or it will make a gorge out of the mountain and flows in the same direction. So one is antecedent. So antecedent means the river that existed before the existence of the mainland or the plain. For example, Indus River. So Indus River was there in the Tibetan plateau or a Eurasian plateau before Indian plateau came and hit the Eurasian plain. So this is one of the example for antecedent, and the superimpose is also same. It maintain the same path. So now let us learn about Himalayan rivers. So when it comes to Himalayan rivers, it is divided into three, that is Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. So these rivers are perennial. Perennial means it do not depend on monsoon because these rivers are formed out of glaciers. So the flowing of rivers can be seen throughout the year and it maintains the long courses and they are basically a depositional plain and they are the antecedent river. So first let us learn about Indus drainage pattern. So Indus River originates in Manasa Sarovar Lake So it basically has 5 tributaries, that is Satluj, Chenab, Beas and Chenab. Okay, these are some five tributaries. Now let us learn about this Indus River. Okay, so Indus River, as I said, it originates in Manasa Sarovar Lake and it passes through Zaskar and Ladakh. So in between Zaskar and Ladakh, this Indus River flows and it will be joined by small tributaries like Shyok, Nubra and Ounce and Gilgit from right hand side. From left hand side it will be joined by Astar and Dras. So you can remember the tributaries name. So next is Ravi River. Ravi River is a main tributary of Indus River. So these are sub tributaries, Shyok and all those. And these are the main tributaries. So first is Ravi. So Ravi River rises in Kulu Hills in Himachal Pradesh in Rotanga Pass and it flows in middle of Pir Panjal and Dhauladar range. And these river act as a boundary between Indo and Pak for particular distance. Okay, this is about Ravi River. So next is Chenab. Chenab River rises in Bharalapsha Pass in Himachal Pradesh and it is one of the longest tributary of Indus drainage system. It is one of the longest tributary and it is formed out of two streams. So there is a two streams that originate in Himachal Pradesh, that is Chandra and Bhaga. These two river confluences and forms the Chenab River. So next is Jhelum River. So Jhelum River originates in Verinag in the Kashmir and it flows through Srinagar and forms the Ulhar Lake. So which river forms Ulhar Lake? That is Jhelum River. So the tributaries of this Jhelum River is Kishan Ganga. So the Kishan Ganga project which is in news. So this Kishan Ganga project is made out of Jhelum River. So next is Beas River. So Beas rivers originate in Beas Kund in Rotanga Pass, that is in Himachal Pradesh, and it flows through Kulu and Manali, and this is the only tributary of Indus that flows entirely in India. Okay, so this river flows entirely in India. It originates in Himachal Pradesh, it flows entirely in India and it joins Satluj River. Later this Satluj River flows out of India and in Pakistan it will join the Indus River. So the important tributary of Beas River is Parbati. So next is Satluj River. So Satluj River originates in Manasa Sarovar. So in Manasa Sarovar, Indus River also originate and Satluj River also originate. They flows parallel to each other for 400 kilometers. Later this Satluj River entering India through Shipkila Pass. Okay. Later it will be joined by two sub-tributaries of Satluj River, that is Spiti and Parachu, and this is the river which forms Bakra Nagal Dam. So this is about Indus River. So now we will move to Ganga drainage basin. So first let us learn how this Ganga river originates. So in Tatapan glacier what happens? Two river originates. One is Dhauli Ganga and Vishnu Ganga. So these two river meets in Vishnu Prayag and forms Alaknanda River. So this Alaknanda River later move through the Badrinath and in Karna Prayag it will be met by Pindar River. So this Pindar River originates from Pindar glacier. So this Pindar River and Alaknanda River meets in Karna Prayag and this Alaknanda River carry the water of Pindar River and moves through the Rudra Prayags. So in Rudra Prayag it will be met by Mandakini River. So this Mandakini River originates from Nanda Devi glacier and later this Alaknanda move forward. In Dev Prayag it will be met by Bhagirathi River. So Bhagirathi River originates from Gangotri glacier. Okay, so these Bhagirathi River and Alaknanda River both together, the confluence of Bhagirathi and Alaknanda, it is called as Ganga River. So later this Ganga River flows through the Haridwar and in Allahabad it will be met by two rivers, that is Yamuna, one of the tributary of Ganga, and one is Saraswati River. So you cannot see the physical existence of this Saraswati River because people believe that it will be flowing underground and it will be meeting these two rivers in Allahabad. That is why it is called as Triveni Sangam. Okay, and these are the Panch Prayag, which is very important. You need to remember all of them, like Satapan Glacier, which two river will be forming, and in which Prayag which rivers will be meeting. So these are important. And this Yamuna river is one of the longest tributary of Ganga river. So the Ganga, as we know, it is a national river of India, and it is one of the largest river system in India. So the total length of this Ganga is 2525 kilometers, and it's one of the longest in India as well, and it is one of the 34th longest river in the world. So the extent of Ganga basin is 10,86,000 square feet. In India, 80% of it flows entirely in India. Later it will be moving to Bangladesh in the name of Padma. So these are the tributaries of Ganga. From left hand side, that is left bank tributary of Ganga are Ramganga, Gomti, Ghagra. So Ghagra has sub tributaries like Sarda and Rapti, Gandak, Kosi and Mahananda. From right hand side, it will be joined by Yamuna, and it is one of the longest. So the sub-tributary of Yamuna is Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Kain, San, Tamas and Punpun. So these are right bank and these are left bank tributaries which will be joining Ganga. So when it comes to left bank tributaries, so first is Ramganga. So this Ramganga river rises in Garhwal district of Uttarakhand, and it will be joining Ganga in Kanuj. Okay, so Ganga will be flowing in Garhwal district. The Ramganga river will be originating, and near Kanuj it will be joining Ganga river from left bank, that is right left hand side. Next is Ghagra. So Ghagra river, the source of this Ghagra river is Gurla Manta peak, which is on the south of Manasa Sarovar in the Tibet, and the important tributaries of this Ghagra river is Sarju, Rapti and Sarda, and it is one of the largest tributary of Ganga. So the longest is Yamuna, largest is Ghagra. So next is Gandak. So Gandak originates in Tibet and Nepal border, and it meets Ganga in Ajipur, that is in Bihar. So next is Gomti river. Gomti river is a monsoon or ground fed river, means it depends on monsoon. During the rainy season you can see the river existence of this river, and the source of this river is Gomattal near UP, and it meets Ganga in Varanasi. So next is Mahananda. So Mahananda is a transboundary river between India and Bangladesh. So it will be meeting Ganga after entering into the Bangladesh near Godgir, and the origination of this river is in Darjeeling Hills. So next is Kosi. Kosi river joins Ganga near Kusela, and it is famous for changing its parts. That is why it causes the flood in the region of Bihar, and it is called as Sorrow of Bihar. So these were the left bank. So now we'll see the right bank tributaries of Ganga. So first is Yamuna river. So Yamuna river originates in Yamunotri glacier on Bandarpunch peak near Garhwal district of Uttarakhand, and it is one of the second largest tributary of Ganga and the first longest tributary of Ganga. Okay, and these are the sub tributaries of Yamuna, that is Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Kain and Ton. So Kain river is important. There is existence of Panna Tiger Reserve. So these are the questions that are asked in our exams. So they will ask the river and the existence of national park within that river. So in 2020 there was a question, so which all national parks come under Kaveri basin. So these kinds of questions are asked. So now we'll see sub-tributaries of Yamuna river, that is Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Son. So Chambal river originates in Janpo Hills in Vindhyan range. The tributaries of this Chambal river are Banas, Kali Sindh and Parvati. So these were right and these are left. Next is Sindh. It originates in Malwa Plateau in Madhya Pradesh. So next is Betwa. It rises in Bhopal district in Vindhyan Range. Ken. It rises in Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh. And Tons. It is one of the largest tributary of Yamuna, which carries more water than river Yamuna itself. So next is Son. These are the right bank. Now we learnt about Yamuna river. Next is Son. Son river rises in Amarkantak Plateau and it joins Ganga near Dhanpur in Patna district of Bihar. So the important tributaries that will be joining Son are Rihand and North Goyal. Next is Tamas. So this Tamas originates in Tamaskund in Kaimur range of Madhya Pradesh and it joins Ganga near Sirsa, that is in Uttar Pradesh. So next is Punpun. So Punpun rises in Palampu district near Chota Nagpur Plateau, that is in Jharkhand, and it flows through Jharkhand and Bihar and it joins Ganga in Fatuha near Patna. So next comes Hooghly river. So what happened when the river Ganga flows, it will be joined by left bank and the right bank. After entering into the West Bengal, there is a construction of Farakka barrage. Okay, the Farakka barrage was constructed by Indian government so that the distribution of Ganga river between India and Bangladesh. So to India it flows through as Hooghly river after this, and to Bangladesh it flows in the name of Padma. Okay, so here after this Farakka barrage, Hooghly river flows through the West Bengal. So basically it has two tributaries, that is Hajai and Damodar. So Damodar is a famous one. So Damodar river rises in the hills of Chota Nagpur Plateau and it flows through the Rift Valley. Okay, and the Barkar is one of the important tributary of Damodar river, and Damodar river causes the some devastating flood on the region of West Bengal, so it is called as Sorrow of Bengal. So this is about Ganga river. Now we'll see Brahmaputra river. So Brahmaputra river is one of the transboundary river because it flows through China, India and Bangladesh, and this river is also known by Yarlung Sangpo and it is a braided river. So what is braided river? When river flows, it will be distributed into two. After flowing to some distance, again it will join, again it will divide. So these kind of riverine islands will be formed. So this Brahmaputra river is famous for formation of the islands. So that is why it is called as braided river. So the total length of this river is 3080 kilometers and the source of this river is Chimayungjung Glacier in Kailash range of Manasa Sarovar. So the old Sanskrit name for this river is Lutia. So as I said, this Brahmaputra river is an antecedent river so that it maintains the same path. So it creates the deep gorge through the Himalayas mountain that is near Namcha Bharpa and it enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, after entering into the Arunachal Pradesh, it will be called by the name Dihang. Okay, after flowing into 35 kilometers towards Assam, it will be joined by two tributaries, that is Dihang and Lohit. So together Dihang, Dibang and Lohit. So these three rivers will be called as Brahmaputra river. Okay. So these three rivers, that is Dihang, Dibang and Lohit river, these three rivers meets and forms Brahmaputra river in Assam. So in Assam, it flows in a braided structure and you can see the famous island, that is Majuli Islands, which is formed out of Brahmaputra river. Okay, so due to this braided like structure, there is also a flood that will be caused by Brahmaputra river in the region of Assam. So this is the course of Brahmaputra river, and it will be entering Arunachal Pradesh. It will be joined by Dihang, Dibang and Lohit. Later it flows through the Assam. It will be joined by many left bank and right banks. Okay. Later it enters the Bangladesh. After entering into the Bangladesh, it will be met by another right bank tributary of Brahmaputra, that is Teesta river. Teesta river originates in Sikkim and it meets Brahmaputra river in Bangladesh. Later in Bangladesh, it flows in the name of Jamuna. Okay, so here from Ganga, Padma river will be coming. So this Padma and Jamuna meets, and these two meets and forms Meghna river. So later this Meghna river drains into Bay of Bengal. So this is the course of Brahmaputra river. So these are the some right banks and left bank tributaries of Brahmaputra river. So one is Subanshiri, Kemeng, Manas, Sankosh and Teesta. So these will be joining Brahmaputra river from right hand side, and from left hand side it will be joined by Dibang, Lohit, Dihing or Buri Dihing and Dhansil. Okay, so what you need to remember here is national parks which come under the ambit of the tributaries. So these are mainly important. Okay, thank you so much.